Hi stock investors, JJ here, welcome back. Well, today I want to react to this video about Nvidia again. Nvidia got overloved, it says, very quickly, says Hightower Stephanie Link. So let's see if it's been overloved as a stock. Has it gone up too quickly? It's certainly gained more than $1 trillion in a very short space of time, just a few weeks, which is unprecedented. It's really gained a lot. Is it going to pull back, and what's going to happen? Let's see what they've got to say here.
Just to our talk of the tape, whether Nvidia's meteoric rise has happened too fast, and if that incredible run has left the market unstable now. Let's ask our panel. Malcolm Ethridge is Vice President of CIC Wealth, Bryn Talkington, Requisite Capital, Stephanie Link, Hightower, all three are CNBC contributors. Good to have everybody here. Bryn, I'm going to begin with you because you're the one who owns Nvidia. As I said, it had this quick correction of 10%. What do we make of that? Should we be concerned about?
Just over a couple of days, it corrected 10%, but it had been going up, multiple percent per day for a very long time. It's had an incredible run.
Where this stock is today?
I think it's so healthy. We would be concerned if it just continued to go up 2 to 3% a day. If you just look at basic technicals, it was so far above the 50-day moving average. That number is like close to $100. I doubt it gets there, but it needs to take a breather and consolidate. And I feel quite confident sellers will come in. But remember, earnings don't come out until August 21st. So it's like the very end of earnings season. So there's definitely some time to digest, think about, let it sell off a little bit. But once again, I feel really confident sellers are going to come in because they're going to have another spectacular earnings quarter on August 21st when they crush it year over year on revenues and earnings.
Yeah.
She seems pretty confident about that. And, consolidating, meaning, sellers will come in and the stock will go down a bit. After thinking about it, earnings is quite a long time away in August. So we'll have to see, how far.
I mentioned the meteoric rise, Malcolm, that the stock has had. I read this stat earlier on Halftime Report, and I find it astounding. Maybe the most incredible stat that I've ever seen.
Most incredible stat he's ever seen. It is pretty incredible, these stats.
Nvidia has added more than $880 billion in market cap in 21 trading days. In 21 days.
3 weeks. 3 weeks. 800 billion with a B.
Well, so your question about whether we're likely to see the slide continue or if this was just sort of a blip, we just got, as quickly as Nvidia has rallied, we just got a bear market that fast, right? So escalator up.
Not a bear market. 10% is technically that's a correction. A bear market would be 20%, and 25% would be a proper bear market.
Elevator down. But I think it's a bad idea to bet against Nvidia here, right? The last couple of years, if you did from about 400 to today, you would have been wrong, right? So I think Nvidia...
$880 billion market cap since earnings. Incredible. It's incredible. The market is pretty top heavy. The market's going up, but it's definitely weighted towards these top big tech stocks.
It's one of those that it's good to own in proportion to the rest of the portfolio, but it's a bad idea to go chasing here.
Hey, this is not betting against, too. Let's parse those words a bit because, you could still love the stock and look at the rise that I said, and then when I read that number, the $880 billion in market cap, and just say now is the time to, cash in or take a fair amount off the table rather than continue to buy in. That's what I'm assuming that clients are asking people like you, who may not have as much exposure as their friends or others. They hear about this story, nonstop and are wondering, what am I supposed to do now?
Yeah, there's been a lot of momentum going on. In fact, a lot of funds, the analysts, more than 90% still have a buy on Nvidia, which is quite incredible. There's been a lot of momentum, not just from retail investors, but from fund managers and traders. I like his blue glasses, by the way. I think those seem to be new. Nice glasses.
I was watching Halftime earlier, right? I saw the guys talking about trimming their positions, well, save for Jason, right?
Yeah,
but the guys were talking about
two of the three who own the stock.
They're trimming their positions, but I didn't hear anybody talking about after I've taken those paper gains and turned them into cash, I'm going and buying Apple, I'm going and buying Microsoft, right? Those are the three-horse race right now for the largest company. So what I do think there is potential for is for investors to be rotating some of that cash into other mega cap names that have fallen out of favor a little bit, especially with earnings coming up in a couple of weeks. I think names like Meta, names like Amazon, they will start to get some love again. And so it's just rotating those winnings over to what you expect to be the next.
All right, this is not long-term investing. This he's talking about rotating into the other big mega caps. So selling, in this tax to be paid, and then rotating in. I was listening to a podcast, Richer Wiser Happier, last night, where there's a very long-term investor who, basically never sell. So this kind of thing that we have on these news shows, it's always, where to position short-term. He's talking about that rotating. I mean, this is not what long-term investors do. This is what traders do, really.
Next winning horse.
Hey, speaking of, didn't you buy some more Amazon?
I did.
Next winning horse. He actually said next winning horse, like gambling, betting.
I bought Amazon today, so I'm in a way talking my own book here.
Okay.
But I do think that Amazon is one of those names that has a lot of potential still locked up in it, and it's not quite getting the respect that it deserves just looking at the digital advertising component of it and their push into ad-supported revenue in addition to AWS. And
Amazon ad revenues has been ramping up. It's definitely an area that they've been focusing more on. That's doing well. But just generally, are these big US tech stocks, these mega caps, are they getting really too overvalued in the market? In the big run up with the S&P 500 really at that top heavy end? There's a lot of stocks underneath there, down there, that haven't gone really anywhere this year.
E-commerce.
Steph, you watch a lot of markets over the years. I mean, when you see something like Nvidia, which has accounted for a third of the S&P 500's gains this month all by itself, and then I told you the astronomical number of market cap that this stock has added since earnings in 21 trading days. What do you take away from that?
Yeah, I mean, there's total euphoria over this name, and it's totally overcrowded, Scott, and you have 89% of the sell-side analysts that have buys on it. So where's your increment?
Yeah, I can't believe that nearly 90% of analysts have buys still on it after it's gone up this much. It's incredible. That's pretty incredible. By the way, this is not investment advice to buy or sell one way or the other. I'm not giving recommendations, just my opinion on things. This is just for entertainment and general education purposes. You need to seek your own financial advice and do your own work on things like this before making any kind of investment.
Incremental buyer, and where's your incremental support on the sell side? So I think it's a little bit challenging. It got a little bit stretched, to Bryn's point. I don't think the party is over, but it's had a heck of a run, and there are so many other places within technology that offer better, attractive risk reward. And I've been a big fan of the PC refresh cycle. I think that area is very interesting. Not a lot of people are talking about that. And those stocks like HPE, HPQ, Dell, I like Seagate, CDW.
Dell's had a bit of, talk about it lately because involved in AI. Even Jensen from Nvidia talked about this, about their sort of AI servers that they have that are important, so that might have helped.
Even Apple is going to have a Mac refresh. So I think that's an area those are areas where are more attractive. Nothing is wrong with Nvidia. It just got really overloved really, really quickly. And so if it does take a pause, if it does pull back.
Well, overloved, that's debatable. A lot of analysts don't think that. We'll have to see, but I think we're going to leave it there. I think we've got the gist of that it's definitely been, or they say it's been overloved, or there's two different opinions there, rotating out. One saying rotate out to these, to these other mega caps and talk of no talk of the other thousands of stocks out there, and one that's been overloved, overcrowded, and it's going to go back down a bit. So what do you think? Let me know in the comments what you think. And if you like this kind of content, if you're new here, this is a new channel, so it does need some love. Do subscribe here if you want to see more of this, hit notifications. And I'm going to put on screen a link to another YouTube video that YouTube thinks that you should watch next. So go and see that now if you want to. And thanks to everybody for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.